Leave a legacy and not debt. Welcome to Affordable Final Expense, where we do all the shopping and you do all the saving. Hello, once again, this is Michael Lucy from the Leave a Legacy and Not Debt podcast and video channel, and also Affordable Final Expense. We can be found on the web at www.cheapestfinalexpense.com. All right, let's get started. We hope to get this over in about 6 minutes. So what we're going to do is look at a case study for 60-year-old men, healthy 60-year-old men, smokers, non-smokers, take a quick look at how health conditions impact eligibility, availability, and to a lesser extent cost of life insurance, and then finally the 6 gotchas for final expense whole life insurance, what to be on the lookout for when you're shopping around for final expense whole life insurance. So let's get started. On this list here are the top 5 or the lowest 5 rates you're going to find in the marketplace for that 60-year-old male, healthy non-smoker for $10,000 worth of death benefit or coverage. I call this the Funeral Plus policy. The reason I call it Funeral Plus policy is because if you search the internet and you ask what's the average cost of a funeral, you're going to find it's about $8,000 plus or minus a couple dollars. So $10,000 is Funeral Plus because it will pay for the cost of the funeral, everything for that funeral, plus a couple dollars left over for your family. So let's look at the top 5, the lowest 5 rates for that non-smoker, that 60-year-old healthy non-smoker. First on the list, Trinity First Whole Life Insurance, $35.25. We have scoured the insurance industry, picked up the phone, researched the internet, and spent a lot of time finding the lowest rates. Trinity, indeed, this policy right here, First Whole Life, is the lowest policy you're going to find, lowest rate policy you're going to find. Another advantage to Trinity is that they accept forms of payment that include Direct Express, or the little green card as I call it. They also accept SSI, SSDI, Social Security Direct, and credit and debit cards. Not many carriers accept credit and or debit cards. So $35.25 per month. As we go down the list, we'll find there's Life Shield, $38.13, Oxford, $41.48, the Trinity Golden Eagle, $41.74 plan or policy. Now, you might be wondering, well, how and why can they be on the list twice? Well, the reason is the difference between these policies is the Golden Eagle has much more lenient underwriting standards. They will accept conditions that the Trinity First Whole Life won't. Also, the Trinity First Whole Life policy has a minimum death benefit of $10,000. So if you're looking for anything below $10,000, Trinity First Whole Life isn't available. And finally, for non-smokers, it's Mutual of Omaha Living Promise, priced at $42.76 per month. So let's take a quick look at smokers, what the rates are for smokers. And one of the things you'll notice here is rates have went up. And common sense, obviously rates go up if you smoke. And you'll also notice that the carriers got reordered a little bit and there's a new player on the scene. So let's go down this list real quick. Trinity First Whole Life, $46.34 per month for that smoker. Life Shield, $47.16 per month for that smoker. American Eagle Premier, $49.67. Now, please be aware, the fine print with American Eagle Premier, this price, $49.67, is what they call the Smokers Get Non-Smoker Rate Promotion. They require that you prove that you quit smoking in the first 3 years, or on the following day after that 3 years, your rate goes up or your coverage goes down. It's in the fine print, so please be aware of that. Be on the lookout for that. The last 2 here on the list are substantially more, and that's the Trinity Golden Eagle, $58.73, and Mutual of Omaha Living Promise for $59.02. Next, real quick, I just wanted to share with you how an independent agent or broker can help you if you have health conditions. And they can help you because they have screens like this. They have tools like this that we use all day, every day to help people find the best coverage and the lowest rates. It's extremely valuable for people that have health conditions, because what we can do is I'll show you on my screen here, what we can do is we can filter the carriers by health conditions. So what we're looking at here on this screen is the rates for that $10,000 policy, 60-year-old male, non-tobacco, and we're gonna, on the left over here, if you follow my mouse and cursor, I'm gonna type in the word stent. So we're gonna select heart or valve surgery, including bypass and stents, and then I'm going to be given additional information as to which carriers will cover those conditions. So as I scroll down, you're going to notice a few things. You're going to see that there's on the right, you're going to see look back period. Very important for your independent agent or broker to be able to search your health conditions and find the carrier that fits you best. So the look back period simply means how far back does the insurance company look to see when the last event occurred. Event is either a diagnosis or treatment. As you scroll down, you'll see for stents or heart surgery, it's 2 years. Most carriers are 2 years, and we're going to find one exception to the rule, and the exception is Americo. The Americo Ultra Protector will only look back for 1 year. Point being is if you had heart surgery between 12 months and 24 months ago, Americo is going to be your only option. I believe it's your only option as I go down the list. 1 year, 2 years. Americo is your only option, indeed. Don't let that deter you. If you're looking at policies between 0 and 12 months, there's guaranteed issue policies available, and we're going to take a look at that here in a minute. I wanted to emphasize that if you have health conditions, it's absolutely imperative that you reach out to a trusted independent agent or broker. They have tools like this that's going to be able to find you the best coverage and the lowest rates. Absolutely imperative. So please do keep that in mind. If you or anyone else you know has health conditions, is looking for whole life or final expense insurance, it's absolutely imperative to reach out to a trusted independent agent or broker. Finally, what we are going to do is review what I call the gotchas. So if you look on this last screen, it's the final expense life insurance gotchas, or things to be on the lookout for. Number one are the companies or agents that quote only one carrier. In some cases, we call these captives. Examples of that might be Colonial Penn, AARP, Globe, Allstate, State Farm, AAA. They're only going to quote for you one carrier. Now, that one carrier might be great for you. Chances are, 99% of the time it's not, because you're only being given one menu choice on one menu. Why do that when you can have multiple menus and multiple choices? So be on the lookout for that. Number two are agents that push one carrier and one policy very, very aggressively. This is a sign of an agent that's been incentivized by a bonus for selling one carrier over the other, and what's happening is they're operating in their best interest and not yours. So be on the lookout for that. Next, guaranteed acceptance, no medical questions. Don't fall into this trap, especially if you're healthy. If you are healthy, don't fall for the guaranteed acceptance, no medical questions. What that means is the insurance company is willing to take a blind bet on you, and guess what happens when they take a blind bet? You pay more, at least 20% more. That said, there's also another disadvantage in that fine print. It also says your family has to wait 2 years for that policy to be in effect, for your family to be eligible for those death benefits. I have heard horror stories where people are expecting a death benefit, they die within 2 years, and they get nothing. They get their premiums returned is what they get. Premiums returned plus 10%. ROP plus 10 is what we call it. Next on the list is understand the 6 embarrassing disqualifying questions. Numerous times I have sat down with a client, probably something I should have prepared for ahead of time, but nonetheless, be prepared for what I call the 6 embarrassing disqualifying questions. And those are, number one, you plan on being a pilot or a student pilot in the next few years. Number two, I call it, you like to be a NASCAR driver. That is, you drive too fast and you got your license suspended in the last 3 years. It's a disqualifying or knockout question for many carriers. Number three, you're on probation. Number 4, in the last 10 years, have you been convicted of a felony or a misdemeanor? Not all carriers ask this, but it is a knockout question for many, many, many carriers, so be on the lookout for that. Next on the list is, bear with me, next on the list is you want to take your family on a vacation overseas. So if you plan on going overseas for more than 30 days, that's potentially knockout question. And then finally, you like to drive fast. It's the NASCAR scenario again, but if you've had 3 or more moving violations in the last 3 years, many carriers will take that into consideration and scrutinize you and potentially disqualify you. So I call those embarrassing reasons why they will disqualify you. Another thing to be on the lookout for is you get to the end of the application, you've spent an hour or two with your agent, either in person or on the phone, and they say, all right, it's time to enter the payment information. Can I get your bank information, including routing number and a bank account number? And things just melt down. They break down. They say, I don't have a bank account, believe it or not, happens frequently. I don't have a bank account, or I don't want to pay with my bank information. So be on the lookout for that. That's a showstopper. There are carriers that accept other forms of payment, but by far and large, the majority of the companies only deal with EFT. Trinity, as I mentioned earlier, is one of the companies that will accept other forms of payment. Finally, be on the lookout for term life disguised as final expense whole life. Please understand the difference. Term is temporary or terminal. I call it terminal life insurance. It ends. It's a contract. It ends at some point in time and you have nothing left over. It's great for young people. It's great for breadwinners that want to protect their family, protect the income that they've earned, that they're going to earn while raising a family. But as you get older in life, term is more expensive. It's less accessible, and it makes less sense because it's just a contract over a period of time and it expires. So a couple things to be on the lookout for here are the Globe $1 promotion. Everyone is attracted to it. Get $50,000 worth of coverage for $1. That policy right there is term. It's term insurance. Another common carrier and policy in the industry is AARP. Most of their policies are term, and you can easily get, although they do offer whole life, that you can easily get sucked into the AARP term life policy. That's all I have. I went a little bit longer than I had hoped to, but I hope you found this information valuable and informative. As always, you can feel free to reach out to me, Michael Lucy. Call or text 734-288-8323. You can find me on Facebook. You can find us on Facebook at Funeral Funds of Michigan. We have other members on our team coming up in other states throughout the country. Right now there is Colorado Funeral Funds, and we also have agents and brokers operating in Ohio, Florida, and Texas, with other states coming up shortly. Also, you can find us on the web at www.cheapestfinalexpense.com. Once again, I thank you for watching this video, and we'll see you next time. If you are not 60 years old and you're not a male, look at the links below, and you'll find there are other ages and other genders available for you to find quotes for you as well. Thank you, and have a great day.